Athena wanted you to have this, so here it is. Good news traveled fast. We are Celeste Bono and Walo Olakboju, and we're bringing you positive news from all over the world. Before we begin, make sure to swipe up on your Spotify player if you're listening to our show. This is Good News Traveled Fast once again. How are you, Celeste?
Oh, I'm good. I think someone started drinking coffee after yesterday, right?
No, this is I've probably been drinking sanitizer. I'm kidding. Nah.
Whoa.
Nah, there was a bottle of sanitizer
Yeah.
beside me, so that was the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, how are you doing today? Happy Wednesday, happy
I'm
hump
great.
day.
You look really happy. I'm not going to ask you what happened, but you
Like I
look
said, I
really
drank
happy.
sanitizer. I may or may not have drunk sanitizer. Don't drink it at home, guys. I'm kidding.
No,
I'm
don't
kidding.
do that. Don't do that. We're always kidding. Also, this is not for kids.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm here to talk to you about how the planet's doing,
Okay,
how
tell me, tell me,
how
tell me, tell me.
how each
Tell me, tell me,
year
tell me,
more
tell
and
me.
more people gradually drift away from eating meat or any products derived from animals. And guess what?
Mm-hmm.
It's showing. A 15-year-long study shows how a waning appetite for meat has pushed greenhouse gas emissions of US diets down by 35%. Although the country's emissions are still far from ideal, this sheds new and interesting light on what this emerging sustainable consumption trend actually means. A promising route to help the US reach its climate targets. Compared to
Nice.
the year 2003, US diet gas emissions practically halved towards 2018, going from 4 kilograms of CO2 to 2.5 kilograms. The main
Wow.
reason shows very clearly during this time period, the consumption of meat per person plummeted on average by 40%. Not to worry though. There wasn't a
Wow.
nutritional deficit. Rather, people migrated from meat based proteins to plant based ones. So, this
Wow.
study lays the groundwork to push even further diet related change in the US. Though the consumption is still very high, this also represents the greatest opportunity. GHG trends in the US diet are both exceeding planetary boundaries and capable of substantial impact reduction. I said that right. Through
Mm-hmm.
changes in dietary patterns.
Wow. Wow, that's
Isn't that
interesting.
great?
Yeah, I would really like for plant-based and protein, I guess, plant-based meats to move to the rest of the world so that we can all have
Mm.
access to it. I definitely would like buy just that. Like for me, it doesn't matter. I just like the taste. Doesn't I don't have to get an
Yeah,
animal
yeah, yeah.
all dead.
I agree.
And yeah. But yeah, after much tug and bickering, ExxonMobil, the largest oil company in the US, will have to go trial in Massachusetts state court over
Oh.
accusations that it lied about the climate crisis and covered up the fossil fuel industry's role in worsening environmental devastation. Exxon tried to twist the lawsuit to make it sound like it was politically motivated by Attorney General Maura Healey, who is running for governor. However, the state's Supreme Judicial Court unanimously dismissed the claim. The lawsuit
Hmm.
accuses Exxon of breaking the state's consumer protection laws with a decades-long cover-up of what it knew about the impact on the climate of burning fossil fuels.
Uh-huh.
The state also says the company deceived investors about the risk to its business posed by global heating or warming
Mm-hmm.
or boiling. The the oil industry suffered another defeat when a federal appeals court ruled that a lawsuit by Rhode Island against 21 fossil fuel companies, including Exxon, BP, and Shell, can go ahead in state court. Why is this a blow for them? Compared to federal courts, state systems often permit a much broader discovery process which could enforce Exxon and other companies to hand over highly embarrassing documents revealing what they knew about the climate crisis and when and how they responded. At least 10 other federal courts across the country have rejected the industry's attempts to get similar cases out of the state systems. At the end of the day, these lawsuits are trying to get giants like Exxon, BP, and Shell to pick up the tab for the costly damages the fossil fuel industry is responsible for, instead of that money coming out of taxpayers' pockets. And I support that. How do you feel about that?
I feel great, and I also don't have much to add.
There's one movie that
What?
basically plays out this whole scenario. It's called Dark Waters. That guy who acted as the Hawk was there, an investigative, I think, lawyer or so, or whatever it was. I can't remember. Yeah, to find out what was happening by companies, blah blah blah. Let me not bore everyone with like environmental news. That's I mean,
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah. And on that note,
Yeah.
I say the redemption times are approaching, Harry. I mean, Wallow.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
shit.
the world was basically ruled by empires for the longest time, and those empires looted their colonies and now showcase all of their properties in fancy museums, while their true owners are back on some island or impoverished country. No? Setting an example for other museums to do the same thing, Berlin's Ethnological Museum has agreed to return its collection of Benin bronzes to their rightful owners in Namibia. There you go.
Yes.
They already did a similar thing last year with Nigeria. This ignited other museums to follow its example with a similar move, but more on that later. This move is as part of a set of reparations that Germany agreed to pay Namibia back in 2021. The decision mirrors the European countries coming to terms with its role in the genocide against the Namibian people between 1904 and 1908. The restitution consists of 23 ancient items of jewelry and other treasures that were taken between 1884 and 1915. Additionally, Germany will pay 1.3 billion in reparations over the next 30 years. As I said, a number of museums mimic this with their own collections. The Met Museum also had part of the Benin bronzes collection, which were returned to Nigeria last year. The bronze collection has become a symbolic representation of the huge amount of art stolen from Africa during colonial times. Other efforts to return looted artifacts include the Brooklyn Museum's decision to return a huge collection of 1,305 pieces to Costa Rica as part of reconciliation efforts.
Wow.
With more recent looting acts, the U.S. announced that it will return more than 17,000 ancient treasures, including the Gilgamesh Dream Tablet, back to Iraq.
Nice. I mean,
good for you,
Germany's
first world
returning.
countries.
Yeah, Germany's returning just 23, but like they took like maybe tens of thousands. So I hope
I know.
this will like motivate people to ask for more and get more and get more and get more until we get everything back. Because it's like, the impact is deadly on the whole identity and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's like a dark period in your past. It's like you don't know where you're coming from. It's like, so it's very important, like, to have your art, like art, architecture, sculptures, blah blah blah. Oh well, I sound like your favorite professor in university.
But you are, you are a professor, so.
Yeah, I don't have a PhD, but I'm a professor. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you need a PhD. Do you? Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right.
Have a wonderful
I'll see you tomorrow.
Wednesday.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. There will be more great news tomorrow. Good News Travel Fast is a news podcast serving positivity and laughter in daily doses. Oh, but we don't have episodes on the weekends. We actually have to sleep. Don't forget to subscribe and rate us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts. This podcast was produced by Matthias Rosenberg, creative direction by Josefina Cordova, scripted by Cecilia Mira, and hosted by Wallo Lapaju and Celeste Bono. That's me. This show is supported by Athyna. Hire, manage, and retain world-class global talent at athena.io. A brilliant startup like yours needs the best of the best on your team. Are you taking advantage of global talent? Level up your team for more success for only 33% of your usual hiring costs. Go to athena.io right now to learn more. That's athYna.io.